The dumbbell shrug. Just a warning, today's video might be slightly longer than the average video that I've been putting out lately. And the reason being is because the dumbbell shrug is one of those movements that have been butchered by bros everywhere. It's a very frustrating movement for trainers and anybody who really knows what's going on with as far as exercise physiology goes, because the dumbbell shrug, while it has been butchered by many, is still a very important exercise in terms of scapular function. Or for those who don't know, some of the underlying shoulder structures, I would recommend that you go check out my shoulder strengthening video. It kind of dives into it a little bit better. But our scapulars are essentially what gives us all the stability in our shoulders. Because our shoulders can move in such a wide variety of movements, we need a lot of extra stability to be able to stay safe in those positions. And the dumbbell shrug is one of those movements that can be very effective in training upward rotation of the scapula. Now, guys like Eric Cressy, guys who work with high-level athletes, a lot of pitchers, throwers, and everything, they actually are going to be recommending some more overhead type shrug stuff. But for today's purposes, I work with a lot of either guys who are looking to erase their necks from the equation, or females who just struggle with a lot of pressure up there, especially desk workers. It might seem counterintuitive, but this is still something that you want to train. Although desk workers and people of those such tend to hunch their shoulders up very much so throughout the day, just sitting at the desk, typing all day, driving, whatever. If we're effectively able to train and then detrain, which I'll give a downward rotation of that scapula a little bit later, then we essentially, if those scapulas can move the way that they're supposed to, we're going to be doing ourselves a favor there. So the dumbbell shrug, without me rambling too much further here, basically the biggest thing that people butcher with this one is you can usually do a lot of weight with this one, especially if you're going to cheat the movement a little bit. Try to put the ego back in the box, start a little bit lighter with this one, and you'll see why in a second. So when I grab the dumbbells here, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of different variations. For one, I'm just going to address this right now. If you're still shrugging and rolling your shoulders forward, knock it off. It doesn't add any extra effectiveness and can actually lead to some dysfunction in the shoulders. But with that being said, it has a lot of the same cues that a lot of our other exercises do. We want to retract our shoulder blades and stand nice and tall. Think sternum up the whole time. And then from that position, you don't want to ever have a weight that's going to force you to curl back forward. If this was 100 pounds right now, I couldn't stand, well, I maybe could, but it would be extra hard to stand in this extra rigid position here where my shoulder blades are in the proper position. Now, from here, I'm just gonna try to drive my shoulders up to my ears. So it looks just like this. And it's very tempting in this movement to want to crunch your neck down to make this movement more effective. But trust me when I say that if you can just stay nice and straight up, you're going to get so much more out of this exercise and probably start feeling it in some different places that you never felt it before. Should be right up along that upper trap area, because that is the movement that we are working. Now, this definitely should be paired with some form of downward exercise rotation, scapular rotation, so I will be putting some of that out, but don't neglect these. Keep the weight light, master the movement, and then slowly progress in the weight. If you can do that and be patient at the beginning, I promise you, you will get to the weights you want to be lifting towards the end. So again, focus on squeezing the shoulder blades back, coming straight up, and we're not dipping our neck down as we go. Hope you enjoyed this one.